April is National Poetry Month, started back in 1996 by the Academy of American Poets. It's to make sure that we don't forget just how important poetry is to the culture. And tonight, Boston is in for a very special treat to help celebrate. We have two influential voices in poetry and music, and they're going to be taking the stage of City Winery for their tour, A Woman's Words. And we are so happy to welcome Sheba, a Grammy-nominated spoken word poet and international artist, affectionately known when she steps foot on the stage as Queen Sheba. Queen Sheba, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you so much for having me. And thank you for saying my full name. That never happens.
See, people gotta know.
I love that. Thank you so much. I would love for people to call me Sheba. I would have loved to have grown out of the whole Queen Sheba phase, but it's been a brand so long, I just kind of kept it. But thank you for that. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And we love Queen Sheba, and you're going to be joined by Natalie Stewart, poet, educator, songwriter, Grammy-nominated recording artist. I could go on, but you know her better as the Floacist. She's one half of the R&B duo Floetry. Tonight, both of you ladies, amazingly talented. Thank you so much for making a stop in Boston. I feel like sometimes we get left out, New York, Philly, DC, but you guys made it a point to be here in Boston, so thank you.
Absolutely. I love coming to Boston. I was introduced to Boston through Amanda Shea. We were just talking about her. She's amazing. 3-time Boston Music Award winner, poet, rapper, influencer. She's just amazing, and she's our host tonight. And we also have on the show Portia O. We also have Michael Chief, the poet, who is a Black Poet Laureate up in Connecticut. He's coming down. And so Amanda was like, hey, come bring your show here. And I was like, absolutely. So this is my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th time in Boston in a year. So thank you, Boston, for continuing to love my poetry shows and having me back. So I have a company called Poetry versus Hip Hop, and that's the production that is helping to put on this show. And we are doing A Woman's Words as a national poetry tour at 6 city wineries and then 2 clubs in the Carolinas. So 8 shows in 4 weeks. It is insane.
We love to hear that again. I can't say enough that Boston is so happy to be on that list. Now we got to make sure we get into what's happening tonight. So A Woman's Words.
A Woman's Words.
This is not only a performance, though. Let's make sure we don't undersell this, okay? Because it's going to be, the performance is going to be memorable all on its own, because I've seen how you get down in Philly and Brooklyn, okay? I've looked at some past performances, so I know what we're in for. But
they're not ready.
They're not ready. But the audience is also going to be a part of a live album recording. This is very cool. Where did the concept come from for this tour?
So I am currently 2025 Grammy nominated, and
Yes.
And I am 2024 Grammy nominated. So once you're Grammy nominated, you're Grammy nominated forever. I am the first woman in our category back-to-back Grammy nominated in the poetry spoken word category, and it's a new category, so we're super excited about that. And when Natalie and I became friends, we were like, we're building our friendship. And she lives in London, so our whole friendship is built on WhatsApp. And we were like, you know what? Let's have a National Poetry Month tour. Let's record a live album. Let's go on tour and let's see what magic happens. Put together a live album, cut and paste, some of the best pieces, and not just do one show. Let's go around for the whole month. And so I was like, you know what? I have an amazing relationship with the City Wineries, so let's do it. And you know what? They cleared some dates, made a tour for us, helped us put it together, and here we are. 6 City Wineries, 2 shows in the Carolinas, 8 shows, 4 weeks, totally insane. And I'm super excited to be doing poems off of my current album, Civil Rights, that's nominated this year. And of course, you're gonna be hearing some lyrics that you're gonna be like, oh, that's familiar from her Floetry days. So that's gonna be also super exciting. So we kind of brainstormed over WhatsApp over maybe about 2-3 weeks, put the tour together, and here we are. So thank you all so much for having us in Boston again.
And live albums are so special because,
they are.
It's one thing to be in the studio, but the things that happen during live performance cannot be replicated.
No.
So it's going to be really special that the audience member gets to be a part of
That's
what
right.
you guys are creating.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're in the audience and you shoot out like, I love you, you're going to end up on the album, and it's going to be so amazing. We're like, oh my gosh. And then you're going to hear yourself and be like, oh, I was there. So that's always so special. And you just never know what happens on each show. So we're really excited to be at Boston City Winery tonight. So don't overthink it, everybody. It's Wednesday. Just come on out, be a part of the live album recording, and, come kick it with us. It is National Poetry Month. And I did my research about Boston, and it seems like Boston seems to love their literary, seems to love their poetry.
Yes.
And I was like, well, how about that? So let's, we're gonna have a lot of fun.
And this is the perfect segue into my next question for you, because what do you say to people who this might be their first time being in like this very rich, electric spoken word space? Because you're going to have your folks who know what to come and expect. They are ready for you and the Floacist. But for those who are going to be experiencing it for the first time, what should they expect when they arrive today?
They shouldn't expect. They shouldn't expect.
Well, there you go.
Don't prepare. Just, prepare to have a great time. It's a great date night. It is Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. It's, shake it off. Come right after work. Bring your friends. Bring your homies. Bring your lover. Bring your boo. Bring your bae. It's also a great place to meet people. It's a great place to have dinner. City Winery is amazing. It's a beautiful space. Everybody is a beautiful space. And tickets, we made them affordable so everyone can come. We understand what the economy is doing. Yes. We understand what is happening with education, and we want to make sure that everybody is able to come, from students, from the working class, from the elderly. We want to make sure everybody enjoys this show, because we want you to be a part of the experience. And don't be ready. Just come and enjoy, and be open. Be open to receive. And I don't even know what to call it. I'm like the Natalie, the Floacist. The Floacist and I are total opposites when it comes to poetry. So you're going to get everything. You're going to get everything. It's going to be awesome. Both of us are storytellers. Both of us like to do rants. Both of us do a little bit of comedy. Both of us do a little bit of singing. So you're just going to get everything. Plus the openers. Again, Michael Chief the Poet, Portia O, Amanda Shea. You're going to get it all. And then your own Celtics DJ White Sham is going to be there.
Yes.
This is a star-studded poetry concert.
Absolutely. No, people are definitely in for a good time.
Yeah, a definite good time. So come out. Don't worry about getting cute. Put on your comfy shoes. City Winery is not like that. They're not going to turn you away at the door, anything like that. Just, come out right after work, have dinner there, bring some friends, text some people, and come to City Winery tonight. And
it is a nice, intimate space, too, so people will enjoy that, especially if it's their first time.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Now, Queen Sheba, we have to love on you a little bit for a second, because
I love it. Do it. Yes.
You have had quite the personal journey. Okay, you've faced challenges in the foster care system.
Absolutely.
You have had an adopted family. Okay, you have started anew in Virginia. You have a child. You had an opportunity in D.C. Right? You've had a lot of trials, but you blossomed.
Give thanks. I appreciate that.
So we have to love on you for a second.
I love that. Thank you.
Talk to me about how all of your experiences, you chose to use that to blossom and pour into your art. How have you seen that influence and impact your art?
I like to call that it's Slumdog Millionaired my life. So every time I come across any sort of adversity, I have an experience to pull from that helps me face that adversity with positivity. And so when it comes to foster care, I understand what it's like to be estranged from families. So I take my poetry into the foster care system. I had a friend who had a poetry program in the prisons in Florida. So I would visit with her and do poetry in prisons in Florida. And yes, I had a couple opportunities in DC when I lived in Norfolk, Virginia. And I would come up to DC and hang out with Raquel Brown and do poetry on U Street. My son and I are estranged, and it breaks my heart, but I write a lot about that. So family and unity and just being kind to people is really, really super important, because we only get one life, YOLO, as the kids say. As the kids say. And I taught at Clark Atlanta University for 5 years. And the only reason I'm not still teaching there, I want to be very clear, is because I fell in love and moved to Raleigh, North Carolina. So I live in Atlanta, Georgia, and Raleigh, North Carolina. And it is important to teach the people that come after us, not just because we are like, oh, here's what I know, and I want to be this this veteran that is passing down, this arrogant information. No, because I want to leave a better world. Because I want you to be better than me. I don't want you to make the mistakes that I made with persons, personalities, or anything that I ran across. I mean, life is going to throw bones at you all the time, but take the meat and throw the bones.
Yes.
Take the meat and throw the bones, and everything is about love. Lead with love. Lead with love, and everything comes from that. And so I pour it all into my stories, and I'm very vulnerable on stage. And that is where you're going to get to know me. You're going to get to know about how I almost died twice in 6 months.
Oh, wow.
Between 2022 and 2023. You're going to learn about how I was sexually assaulted in foster care before being adopted to an all-white family in Detroit, not in the suburbs, and how that traumatized me growing up in elementary school and middle school and high school, and how I was teased and bullied, and how that turned into a book called From Foster Care to Fame. It's just an amazing life, and it's very short. You blink and you're 30, you blink and you're 40, you blink and you're 50, you blink and you're 197, and you're peacefully dying next to your lover in your bed. And don't waste this life. Don't waste this life being angry. And, write it out. Write out your angst.
And I think it's so important too that, our young people get to see that is how you can use your life experiences, right? Like, you don't have to let your life experiences take over you. You can channel that energy somewhere.
Yes.
And I think that this is a great example of that, because people feel your authenticity and your rawness on stage, in person, and that's what they appreciate.
Give thanks. We have so many times I have college students, high school students come up to me and say, you prevented me from committing suicide today. You prevented me from running away from home today. You prevented me from carrying a gun to school today. Your poems and your stories prevented me from beating up somebody at school today. You stopped me from bullying, or you made me think twice before I got upset inside my own home today against my parents. You would be amazed at the poems that the students come up with. You would, I'm getting chills even talking about it. And so poetry is so powerful. It's a story. It's a thesis paper. You present a problem, you support the problem with some ideas, and then at the end you close it with a possible solution. And if we provide solutions for young people through writing, you could do anything. It's a form of communication that is slowly being lost. And we won't even get into AI and social media, right? But it's an art form that is slowly being lost. And I think that if we continue to help hone the craft and the mastery of writing, of essay writing, of poetry writing, of short story writing, we will find that people have better mental health. They have better communication skills, and our education system will thrive again. So it's super important that people not only come out tonight just to see two amazing poets, the Floacist and myself, Grammy nominated, and she is 8-time Grammy nominated. And you know what I loved about her story? She told me, as we're getting to know and building our relationship, she said it was the 8th time that they won, not the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, not even the 6th in the middle. They kept going. You have to keep going. And I haven't won yet. I'm going to keep going. And that is the message for everyone that has a dream about anything. And poetry is so weird, right? It's such a nuanced, niche genre. It's not singing. People come to the shows, they don't know the words, they can't sing along.
But they can feel it.
That they can feel it. They can feel it, and they leave feeling empowered, and that's always my charge, is that you leave a better person, or that you leave motivated to do something, anything that you were afraid or on the line to do before you came in. So you're like, I wanted to learn Spanish, but I wasn't really sure if I wanted to learn Spanish. You leave, you're like, I'm gonna learn Spanish. Whatever it is. I wanted to build that garden in my backyard, but I don't really have time. I'm gonna build that garden. Whatever it is, I want you to feel motivated from listening to my stories, from listening to my story, and listening to my poems, after listening to my albums, after listening to a live show or reading my books. That is what poetry and writing is about, is to motivate positive change and forward movement.
And speaking of your writing, you got to tell us a little bit about civil rights.
Oh, yes, Civil Rights. Civil Rights is my 10th album, believe it or not. It is my 10th album. I have producers on there such as Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Oh, look at you.
I know. Last year, Malcolm Jamal Warner was a producer. This year, he's a producer and does a cameo.
We like it.
Hello, Theo. And more importantly, you know, he's a really good friend of mine. I've enjoyed getting to know him over the last probably about 6 or 7 years. Very cool brother. And last year's album also had producers Robert Glasper on there from A, You're Not Wrong, B, You're Not Either. That was my first Grammy-nominated album. Other producers such as Clayco, Triumph Reigns, and I decided to choose people that were around me. They didn't have to be famous. I was like, you know, I like your work. You know, let's do this work together. So Civil Rights is a collection of my stories about how I grew up in Detroit and made my way down south to Norfolk, Virginia, started my poetry career, and then I've been in Atlanta for 20 plus years this July, and how the South has changed me. It's helped me identify my heritage, identify my lineage from, you know, looking up Ancestry.com, and, you know, I'm a biracial child adopted by this white family who's Polish and German living in Detroit, Michigan. I'm like, who am I? What is my identity? And so I looked up my Southern roots, and I was like, oh, I got to write this story. I want, you know, I want connection. I want identity. And this is what Civil Rights is about. It's civil rights. The South got something to say. And that is a quote from Andre 3000 when he was at I believe it's the Source Awards in 1995, and everybody knows that's a famous quote from him. So it was very cool to give a resurgence to that quote. And Civil Rights is WRITES for, you know, those watching and listening. And very awesome, upbeat album and a lot of fun. It talks about same-sex cheating. So number 4 is it is called what is it called? I named it after the Risa Tisa Chronicles that were on TikTok. So Side Chick Chronicles. Side Chick Chronicles. I know people don't talk about that a lot, but I know like, I might have been maybe a side chick for maybe a little summer something, and I decided to write about it because it's about writing your truth and being vulnerable and being vulnerable and saying, hey, you know what? I know I'm not the only one out here, but let me put it out here so you don't feel alone. So, and it's so funny. I tried to make it funny and, you know, witty. And I'm telling this story about being a side chick and, you know, trying to make it funny. And people are crying in the audience. And women, I'm not laughing at them, but they come up to me. They're like, oh, my God, that was me. And I'm like, yo, we got to get out of this. We got to stop romanticizing being side chicks. Let's just leave, you know. And then there is a tribute to the entire South called Killer Mike, M-I-C. And that was inspired by seeing the hip-hop artist Killer Mike and Andre 3000 at the previous Grammy Awards, and when Killer Mike got arrested. I don't know him, but I was so excited to see it in person, him receive award after award. I ran out to the lobby to try to meet him, and then he wasn't there. And then, of course, later on the news, they were like, Killer Mike has been arrested. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what is happening? You're like, let the man get his awards, please, people. And I love that Andre 3000 reinvented himself. It's like, we can do whatever we want. We're artists. You know, people were all up in arms about Beyonce reinventing herself with whatever she wanted to call this album, if it was a country album, whatever. So wait a minute, what are you saying? I can't reinvent myself? I can't do whatever I want to do? You want me to stay in your box? That's not happening. We're going to do whatever we want to do. So Civil Rights is all about finding your identity. And there is Blackberry Molasses on there. There is Blackberry Molasses just talks about falling in love in the South and all the things that you and your favorite first love would do. There is First Date with Malcolm Jamal Warner. And it is a metaphor, like he's getting ready for his first date and I'm getting ready for my first date. And you think we're talking about each other, but really we're talking about our first time going to an open mic. So, and you know, because there's always got to be a tribute to writing on there. So it's a lot of fun. Civil Rights, WRITES, The South Got Something to Say, available on all streaming platforms. It's an awesome album. And I do have kind of sort of a video-ish coming out for Blackberry Molasses coming very soon, actually.
And now that you have us on the edge of our seats, we have to make sure people know when to come out. So this is tonight.
Tonight.
City Winery.
City Winery.
Doors open at 5:30. It's important because you want folks to be on
Doors
time.
open at 5. You know, City Winery gives this long 2-hour dinner. They want you, because they want the place to be clear. They don't want any clanking, clacking, and, you know, you sipping your wine while we're up there. So I really appreciate them for coming up with that concept. So doors open at 5:30, but we know it's a Wednesday. People are getting off work. Don't go home and change. We know what happens.
Yeah,
you take
don't
your
go
shoes
home.
off and you relax and you're like, okay, I'm not going. Don't do that.
I tell people all the time, if I tell you I'm going home, I'm not coming back. Don't get me to lying to you.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Just call and text your homegirls. Meet me at City Winery. Let's have dinner at City Winery. Let's go see Queen Sheba, 2-time Grammy-nominated spoken word poet. Let's go see Natalie, the Floacist, do it from Floetry. Let's go see them and the amazing, amazing poets and DJ from Boston's area. Come have dinner with us. We have a VIP hour. We have a VIP hour, and it is from 6 to 7, I believe.
See?
It is 6 to 7, so come out and have a glass of wine with us. You know, take pictures with us, hug, ask questions, whatever you want to do. And the show starts right at 7:30, and you will be walking out of there by 9:15. Go home, you'll be in bed normal time.
Now, I will be remiss. If I let you leave, Queen Sheba, and we didn't get a piece of what we're going to experience tonight. Because I've seen some things. So I'm like, oh, I know this is going to be fire. But for people who this is their first introduction, just give us a little bit of what we can expect.
A little bit. Okay. So, I'm going to do the first couple lines. I don't know. Am I still looking at you? Where am I looking at? First couple lines. This is called Misty Mirrors. You know what? I'm going to do Blackberry Molasses. It's about love. It's springtime. People are falling in love. And love is so important. So, no, I'm going to do Misty Mirrors. Misty Mirrors, this is about finding your identity as a woman and being comfortable with who you are. So I'm just going to do the first couple lines, and if you want to hear the rest of the poem, you got to come out.
You got to come out tonight.
You got to come out tonight. Doors open at 5:30. We know y'all getting off of work at 5:30, and the show doesn't start till 7:30. You got plenty of time to get there. Just buy your tickets at the door, or if you want to choose a seat for you and your whole crew, just go online and choose tonight and pick some seats. So, Little brown girls trace circles in gray, misty mirrors to cover the image that flinches because her vision is conditioned by the system. Painting red lips under green eyes, so when the first guy pays her a little attention, she pays him a little attention. Because we know that the things that he wants may not be what she believes in. But this is not about that. It is about empowerment and in belief. Belief in the things that her mother told her that she didn't really understand. But now she's grown. And it doesn't matter what jeans she owns or what red bottoms that some guy told her that she needs. No, this is about belief. This is about belief and dreams and all the things that she wants to be when she gets past 18. She wants to be a dancer. She wants to be a dancer in the next music video. But no, she wants to keep her clothes on because she has integrity. Because she has integrity from watching amazing women like Oprah Winfrey, like Michelle Obama, and all the beautiful black women that she has in her eyesight and her dreams. Come out tonight to hear the rest of that poem. My name is Queen Sheba, and you are also going to see Natalie, the Floacist Stewart.
All right. We were like, wait, she's done? All right.
That was awesome. I love that.
Queen Sheba, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
We really appreciate you.
And we'll be right back.